you starting to thinking about where my home would be or where my roots would be, and am I like fitting in, or can I fit in, or maybe I'm not, and that would be okay. Those kind of questions were starting to popping up and starting to feel it as well. So, and then that's the kind of maybe like the point that I starting to get back to like Chinese dance as well, because that's literally what I trained when I was young. And then that's a kind of a unique and also the special as well, that the reason my body move in a different way, that maybe they're not seeing it because it's rare. Hi, Shan, thank you for having me.
It's a pleasure. It's so great to meet you here on Zoom.
Yes, thank you so much.
Tell me, where are you based at the moment?
So right now I'm based in New York City, but I'm born and raised in Taiwan. So.
Oh, I see. Yeah, I read about and also your training you did in Taiwan.
Yes, yeah. Actually, it's I get a degree for my music, so I training with the music and also dance at the same time.
Oh, that's great. So, can you see also that this benefits you now as a dancer?
Yes, absolutely. Because like we all pretty much dance with the music, right? So I feel like the music sometimes is serve, and sometimes I'm trying to get the other way around, to do the dance first and then fits in inside of the music. So I think the music, while you dance and then you listen to the music at the same time, I feel like that's a different way.
And when you listen to music or when you play music, what instrument did you play?
I was an opera singer, and
Oh,
also I played the
really?
piano. Yes.
Wow, that's
Yes.
amazing. So, when you play the piano, do you think of dance, or is it just in the music or the piano music?
That's interesting. Because I learned I mostly play classical music, and then when I started to learn in music, I think it's when I was a little bit more younger, and because of the training and also education, I feel like at the time I'm mostly just really focused on the music itself.
Oh, I see.
And yeah, it's until like maybe college, and there's some my classmates, they are more like a composers, and so they are composing different, a little bit more like a new music. And so she will ask me like, hey, can you do the dance for my music? And then I think that's where it
Mm.
kind of started. I was like, oh, so maybe I can put the dance inside of the music. And also like because I'm this opera singer, so I did the acting a little bit, and then some of the character I think is a little bit more like moving in the way. I mean, it's rarely in the opera in the general, but there's some of it, and I figure at that time I was like, oh, I actually like that, because I don't really like to just standing and just sing. Yes, so.
Well, piano is very static. I mean, yes, you move in the piano, but I mean, it's not like a violin or a flute where you actually, you know, can almost move
Yes.
around.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. So I guess like back then it's a little bit hard for me, because I like to move
Yeah.
around as a kid, and my mom always just like, you have to practice like piano, and she was like yelling at like, back in the kitchen. It was like, I didn't hear the sound. Where's the practice? Yeah, so it's a little bit hard for me like when I grew up because I feel like I'm more like the kids. It's more like playful and I like to like moving around. So like sitting there and even like 30 minutes to practice, it's hard for me.
Well, it's very interesting because my daughter played the piano, and her piano teacher actually said to me when she was young, when she just started, I think she played piano for a year, and then the piano teacher said to me, she gave me a book to read, and there in the book was a like a little test that you did with your child, and then it says what instrument suited your child. And actually, piano didn't suit her. She had to either
Mm.
play flute or violin. And she actually became a ballet dancer. So she also needed that movement. Yeah.
Oh wow. Okay. It
Yeah.
sounds like pretty much similar.
Yes, and it's interesting now that you said that your mom had to. It was the same with me. I always had to say, go and practice. And I mean, the piano teacher said she thinks Suzanne needs something where she can move.
Yes, yes. And also like because my mom she was a dancer as well.
Oh, I
So
see.
yes, like in the back then she was a backup dancer for the singers on the TV, like sometimes here and there. And then back then she was teaching dance like before she married.
Okay, so you had that inspiration then as a child already.
I think so. Like grew up when I because I learned the dance and I did the solo competition, and that's where my moms were coming in and to like, hey, so let's go like practice. I don't know, like one or two times, and you complete, and before you go to sleep, like this.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, to prepare for the solo competition.
But so you also studied musical theater.
Yes, that's where when I come to New York City, that's where I come for. Yes.
Oh, I see.
So yes, because I back then when I study like college, like I feel like the musical is a very new to Asia in general, especially in Taiwan. It's very new. So at the time, doesn't have that much of like training how to sing like musical theater style or like how the musical will be done. It's mostly like I saw like some musical movies and I was like, wow, that is so fascinating. Like you can sing and dance and do all the different things and within the story and at the same time and telling the story. Yeah, so that's why I was say more like fascinating by the this type of form. And I did some of like musicals in Taiwan, and then I was like, I don't feel like this is enough for me, so I had to go to New York City.
So now in New York City, was it a big transition for you to go from Taiwan to New York?
Yes, it definitely it was the big transition because it's back then it's like I feel like it's I was deciding to do that and I didn't discuss with my parents and I just get the agency and then to enroll the years of school, the English as second language school, and to me and to get my student visa, and then I just bought the one-way ticket and I was
Wow.
here.
And what did your parents feel? I mean, how did they feel about it?
Um, I actually don't know. I feel like they must be like terrifying, and because they didn't know that much about New York City, and I would just say like I'm gonna go.
Wow.
But like I feel like they're very supportive, and they're like, okay, this is what you wanted, and then so let's see. Like, and we're supporting
What
you.
happened?
Yes, and we'll see like how this is gonna go. Yeah.
I think with parents, we know, we understand that it's important for you, and that's why you want to do it. So I'm sure your parents are supportive to know that it makes you happy, and this is your path, that you want to do that.
Yes. I
Mm.
think so. And I think because also my mom was a dancer, so I guess
Oh,
like
yes.
she might have thinking of yeah, maybe, like New York City is like all the arts, it's there.
Yeah.
And then so maybe that you will get something else and something more and for yourself. So I feel like that's she's very supportive on that side. And then she's trying to convince my dad.
Oh, okay. Mums can do that.
Yes.
Yeah. But it's also a different way of singing musical theater and opera singing,
Yes, it's
classical
totally
singing.
different. Yes, it's very, very different. So it took me a really, really hard time to like transit. And back then, it doesn't have that much of a teacher who knows how musical theater singing style. So I was learning like years and years until that I got here and I went into the school, Circle in the Square Theater School. And then so I that's where I kind of like started to learn acting and then use the acting through like singing and through the dance as well.
But because of your classical training, it must be also beneficial for you because there must be some of the skills that you use when you sing musical theater.
Yes, absolutely. That's totally for sure. Yes.
So, so now you are doing also in the training that you're doing now. Do you perform a lot?
Yeah, I do perform a lot. And so mostly I teaching at the school or like music studios. And but mostly like outside I perform like with a dance company or like devising work or telling the stories and within all different kind of elements like art form elements in it.
And is it in New York? There must be a lot of opportunities, but there's also a lot of trained dancers and actors that apply for these roles. How do you find it there? Is it difficult to get the roles?
It is very difficult to get the role for sure. And especially, I feel like I come from a background, it's like Asia and the cultural, it's very Asian. And so for me, because I mostly, I feel like the musical theater is written for Asian Americans, the story
Okay.
wise,
Mhm.
or most of the musicals, they're uh, like the cultural I'm not familiar with.
Oh,
So it took me a very, very long time to understand like the cultural wise as well, and just within the the lyrics or the story or the reaction that they will react because of the cultural differences. So yes, it was difficult, but I feel like right now. Because I feel like the industry is trying to fighting for like diversity. So yes, we can see a little bit more the different colors and different races on the stage, at least on the ensemble, and some within the leading roles. So I feel like that's the hope for the Asian Americans or Asians who want to be on the Broadway.
well, I spoke to a director of a musical and artistic director, and he said also that it's sometimes about height, it's sometimes about just a specific look. There's so many factors before that you can, that you it's not just about the talent. It's just sometimes about a physical attribute that make them not take you or make them take you.
Yes, totally. That's absolutely. So it's very frustrating. Like if you're trying to just say make that as a goal, I feel like that's because you constantly got rejected, and it's really not your like you are great. It's just
Yeah.
like it's just a lot of like different reasons, like truly a lot. And but I feel like as a performer, it took a long journey to really understand like you are really great. It's not just like the timing wasn't right, and then the role wasn't right, or like I don't know, like all the different kind of it needs to be everything fits in. Then yes, the role will be yours. So yeah, it's just so many factors. So that's the reason why I would just if it's come, it comes, and if it's not, then why not create your own stories or create your own things.
So how do you deal with auditions? How do you approach an audition?
Most I did auditions like right after my school. So after I graduated, I did a lot. But then, like after for I don't know a year or so, I feel like some of things I feel like they're not really want to see me, and we're only aiming for specific type of like a musical, so specific role for it. And but that was almost like 7 or 8 years ago. But I feel like right now it changed more for sure. But because of back then it was like that, and then also I also have a teaching job, so most of the time the teaching schedule is set.
Okay.
So yeah, so it's a kind of a balance that I need to wait there. Maybe I get to sing, or maybe not, or I will go make my living. So
Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
And it's also, finding yourself and finding your own uniqueness in that world of the arts.
yeah. So I feel like that's the reason why I go more as a dance or more as a mover or dancing or physical acting those, because for me English as still as a second language, so it takes really long time for me to, if I'm going to bring acting to it, it's a little bit like gap to it. It's hard for me. And uh, if I using like physical expression, there's no words, and so it's a little bit more easier for me to approaching in this way. Yeah. So I did more physical acting, or like a dance company to be in one of a piece, or like immersive like a dance theater, like a little bit more of that, and that's
Okay.
where I get more gigs.
And do you say you want to create your own works and tell your own stories?
Yeah, I think that shows a little bit more like a later on, almost like a post pandemic. And I heard like there's a grant like to apply during that time. I think it's like 2021. And I was like, okay, why not? So I would just say starting to apply for grants and for that time. And then I was like, oh, I got selected. I was like, oh, wow. And so, and then because I got selected, I was like, okay, now what to do. So I asked my friend who is a director, and then to help me to, because we worked a little bit more like a before. So, and also as a friend. And so he knows me pretty well. So like he helps me to finalize what was the story, what I want to tell. And also I tell him like I want this, I want you to direct this piece more as like a physical acting perspective, or like a moving those kind of, it's not just a dance piece, because I feel like that approaching is a little bit more different, because I every single time when I see the dance piece, it's more like abstract, or like there's some more like in the feeling, or like some sort of like a vibe, or like a you aim for some sort of look, like, or like some arts in the visual arts that kind of they want to create. But I want to more approaching the dance more as the theater that you can use physical expression. And so it's including like a facial expression and also the feeling as well. And so the audience can following through the stories a little bit more clear. Yeah.
That sounds so interesting. Is this also coming from some traditional art that you have in that way? Or are you inspired by something traditional?
I think it may comes from when I was in school, and there's a class, it's a physical acting class, and I love that class because I don't need to speak. So,
okay.
Yeah. So I was like, wow, this is great. And then so I learned a lot from that class, and I was like, oh, actually, I can express from the physicality. And also because I was a dance, I'm trained as a dancer as well. So I guess like that's continuously I merge them together. So even though I did a different kind of a training background, when I was in Taiwan, I learned a dance. So we have more like a dance studio, and you went to a dance 2 times a week. So one is that you learn the more like a Western ballet, and the other time we learn classical Chinese dance. So even though I have like a two different style, but in the physical acting or like a theater in a way, I feel like it really doesn't matter what kind of a style that you are doing it, and you should be able to tell the stories. So I can adding on a different style, whatever the story needs it, and I want to put those kind of a style in it, and or I can combine in different styles. But the main thing would be the storytelling, the physicality storytelling. Yes.
And is it easy for you to tell the stories? I mean, where do you get your inspiration to tell the story?
I started more telling my story from my own experience. So it's more like I'm as an immigrant, and so how do I feel in the U.S., especially right now? Yeah. So
Okay.
and yeah, so this is more like I more digging back to myself and to there's so many different story, and then I feel like because I'm the part of those kind of immigration, that kind of a story wise, but like everybody is different within the background and then within the timing who you move here. I feel like the reason they are all different. So I think even though there was some like a similarity, and then but when you tell the story, it resonates with the immigrants, or the who it's more interesting, or maybe they don't have any other idea, but they can like, oh, this is how all the different emotions inside of it.
I can relate to that because I'm also an immigrant where I am now. Yeah. And
Yeah.
so I can relate to that, and I also can relate to I spoke to somebody a while ago, and we talked about roots, and it's you can be all over the place, but it's almost as if you always tend to want your roots, or go back to your roots, or looking for the roots, and yeah. So how do you feel about your roots?
Yes. So when I just moved here in 2011, it was like more than 10 years ago. I feel like I didn't know my roots. Where would it be? I was just like, I moved into a new environment, and it was so new to me. Everything is fresh, and everything is so new and so exciting. And then, but like when you stay in one place for so long. And of course, there will be up and downs for sure. And
Yeah.
then you starting to thinking about where my home would be or where my roots would be. And am I like fitting in or can I fit in or maybe I'm not, and that would be okay. Those kind of questions were starting to popping up and starting to feel it as well. So, and then that's a kind of maybe like the point that I starting to getting back to like Chinese dance as well, because that's literally what I trained when I was young. And then that's a kind of a unique and also the special as well, that the reason my body move in a different way that maybe they're not seeing it because it's rare, and then it's similar to some of the things, but then it's different. And it looks pretty, but we do have a names for like certain of the movements, but they're like, I don't know what that is, but that looks cool,
Oh,
Yeah.
really? Yeah.
Yes. So, and then right now, I was in part of a company, and we do Chinese dance, and then to go to the school and to use the dance to like kind of like introduce the cultural to the school, the students. Yes. And so I was like, oh, this is it's really good to like touch in it, because it's
Yeah.
really, yeah, it's like, I feel like when I would just move here, I wouldn't, I feel like I will be more like denial to it, because somehow I want to cut off. Like, no, this is like the old things, and then I don't want in it. And then, but right now I'm more like, this is my special things. And this is
Exactly.
my,
Yeah.
yeah. So I'm more like appreciate it and also embrace to it.
Do you know there's a jazz musician in New York, and he comes
Mm.
from Germany, and we had this exact discussion where he said he always had this wish that he was born in New York, in Harlem, and be this real jazz musician. He wanted to have everything, and he wanted to be like this real jazz musician. But then he realized that coming from Germany to New York, he brings something else to the jazz music. He has something unique
Yes.
to the jazz music. And this is exactly what you're saying now. So you bring something unique to the dance world.
Yes. And then, and also I feel like that's a kind of a things that I am learning myself as well. And then, because I feel like I'm come from the cultural that I always thinking about, like I'm not enough, I'm not perfect. And, but then through that process, and I feel like when I go into a different kind of the room, and I feel like, uh, I'm so different. Like I'm different than the others, and then and I do have my own voice, and then this is more like contribute and or like the existence and to the different groups that I bring in.
Yeah, I think it's wonderful. And I think it's wonderful when you get that piece where you say, this is me, this is where I come from, this is what I'm bringing, and that people then also can enjoy that and appreciate
Yes,
from you.
yes, yes.
So, do you collaborate with other artists as well? Do you collaborate in other art forms as well?
Yes, I think I mostly collaborated with the musicians and also like other dancers, and so uh, I did a piece that's the first piece, a little bit more like a long for myself, and that's the first time when I get the grant. So I asked one of my talented friends, and who is a jazz pianist, and also another dancers, and also from Taiwan as well. And then so I have like some sort of like the story, and then with the directors, and then that's the story that we come up with, and then we just go from there, and kind of like a piece them up and how to tell the story. And then the names, it was 10 years in the making, 10 years of me, because at the time it was I came to New York City for 10 years. Yeah. And then that that jazz pianist, she pretty much like she was in the rehearsal with us, and she look at our phrases, look at our characters, and like the whole piece is a little bit like more than the 30 minutes, and most of the time she was improv.
Wow, that's
Yes.
amazing.
Yes. So I feel like that's a very exciting. As a dancer, you have like a live musicians with you on the stage and to perform, and so it's like she while she was playing, she would know like where we are, and as I was dancing, I would know like some kind of a phrase like she might will coming in, so we're trying to matching it together, but it's not like waiting it. Yeah, so yeah, it was really exciting for me. Yes.
Yeah, but how amazing. And you must, I mean, in situations like that, you learn so much from each other.
Yes, yes, 100%. Yes.
But tell me, Shan, what is your dream? What is what are the wishes for you for the future?
Um, I feel like because I feel like a choreographer, the putting into that position, it's new to me, and maybe I was wishing later on I can choreograph some Broadway shows or some like a dance company to bring in my uh, interesting own style or like this type of the storytelling into like a different way using the physicality to telling the story and within the dance as well, not just the physical acting. It's a more like a combining.
I love that. I think that would be beautiful if you can do that. And I think it's your uniqueness, will make something special.
Yes, I think so too. But then it's slowly, step by
Yes.
step. Yes, yes,
Yeah. And
yes.
all the things you do now are all stepping stones to where you will get and where you will be.
I think so too. Yeah, I just did the workshop with the new musical. My friend who wrote the music, and then we just kind of a workshop to it, and then hopefully it will lead into like someone else, and will continue to develop as well.
But that's so wonderful for at your age also, and that you have the possibility of collaborating with other artists as well. I think it's wonderful, and congratulations for that. And the best of, I wouldn't say luck, but I wish you the best. I wish you the best for creating.
Yes, yes. I think we're just like continuing and I always tell myself, it's just like, whatever that you got, and just do your best. And then if
Exactly.
people will see it, they will see it. And
Mm,
then they will not like just like impress of them, but like they will know, oh, okay, they what she can do, and maybe like it could put her in somewhere else. And then I think that's also
exactly.
the networking as well. Yes,
Mm,
so just the only thing that I can do is just do my best, and then to try my best to own way, or at that time, or own version, and to putting into the work, and I will think that people will see it.
exactly. Do you know, I think the biggest favor you can do for yourself as an artist is to find your voice, to find out who you are, and to know your strengths, and then from there on create, because then you are doing it from the best place, or from a right place.
Yes, yes. I think
Mm.
I slowly did find my uniqueness, and then find my voice as well. And so I'm really happy, like what I am right now. And then and I guess just like continuing going in, and then see what was coming. And I will do my best, and then hopefully people will see it, and then it will go somewhere else as well.
Exactly. Yeah. Shan, thank you so much for your time.
Of
It
course.
was
Thank you for
so
having
lovely.
me.
It was so lovely to talk to you.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.